Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Yvonne and you are on Ginger Chick Rehab, where I love to take thrift store finds and make them over here on the channel and share the process and my vision with you all of what I do to these items. Have you ever seen a swan like this in your thrift store or at a garage sale? Anywhere you're looking for secondhand finds. I love that it is a swan. I love that it is wood. I do want to update it. But first, as you see, his head's easily removed. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that, but I got to remove some of the glue that was on there. It's that older Gorilla Glue that foams up and is kind of a nightmare, but I think I can chip it off. I just need to get a good wood to wood bond here, so I need to chip this glue off. But I'm going to go ahead and sand as much of this paint job. It's actually been splattered, so there's a lot of texture on it. So I need to get that texture taken off. So as much as I can do with my Orbital sander first, and then of course I'll have to go back in by hand. But hey, if you have a power sander, go ahead and use it. Let it do most of the work for you. And then now that I have it all sanded, I'm going to go ahead and use some Type Bond. This is the quick bond, so it's supposed to dry in like an hour, but I'm not terribly worried about that. I just really wanted to have a good wood glue so that you don't have to always worry about that neck coming off. And a lot of times when they have long necks like this, the tendency is for people to grab them so they get easily pulled off. I can still work on my project. I just have to remember not to grab it by the neck, but I won't have any worries about that because I need to get a primer coat on this. So I'm just using some Rust-Oleum flat black to get this sprayed up. Of course, in my mind, a swan is white. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of the Sweet Pickens milk paint in the color Window Pane. One of my favorite colors because, you know, I am drawn to white. So it's equal parts. So I put 2 scoops of the powder. Now I'm going to put 2 scoopfuls of water. I'm just using a bottle I fill with tap water. It's now with special water. And then I'm just going to stir. Now you need to stir it for about 2 minutes, and you'll see some bubbles. It'll become kind of airy. And then I set it off to the side for like 2 minutes, 2 minutes or so, just to let it thicken up a little bit until it gets the consistency of like pancake batter. So it's still wet, a little runny, but not like water runny. Now, I do feel like it is a runny type of paint to put on. So it just all depending on what your project is or what you have to work with all these little different bumps out of the swan, I chose to use a smaller brush and just kind of go for it because I knew I had areas that were going to be hard to get into. So I have a lot on my paintbrush. It's okay if it runs. That's what gives it that old-timey paint look. So yep, I'm just kind of like a dabbing motion and kind of evening out. It's not a brush stroke I'm doing. It may look like that, but it's more of I get it on and then I'm kind of just patting it and then spreading it out a little. For me, the nice thing about milk paint is you're not looking for this total full coverage. You want it to look drippy. You want it to look old-timey. Did you see that amazing crackle that it made? So now I'm going in with my Orbital sander. I got to get that bottom cleaned off because, like I said, it's drippy, so it runs. So, but that's okay. That's how you want it. It's that perfectly imperfect. So now I'm just going to take some 220 sandpaper and just sand this piece nice and smooth. I'm going to distress it down so some of that black and some of the underlying wood shows through. Of course, there's those angles that you just can't get with with your power tools. So I have to go in and hand sand a few of those areas. But at least the power tool did most of the work for me. I do feel like this swan needs to have his face put back on, but this is something I don't know. I've never attempted to do this before, but I just really do think that he needs his beak. So I'm going to give it a try. And I'm so sorry that, yeah, it looks like I am off camera. You know, you think you're not, and then the next thing you know, you're like editing, you're like, oh, I was off camera. But I try my best, y'all. That's all I have to say. It was more about me getting this beak back on kind of straight than unfortunately you see in that first paint job I was doing. I wasn't intimidated by the beak as much as I was, okay, can I do the eyeballs? Can I make just little dots of eyeballs, you know, at least size appropriate to his head? And then can I almost place them evenly on both sides? Luckily, there's that curve of the top of the head that I can go by. You know, you can always distress it if it doesn't look completely the way that you want. And since this milk paint is not sealed in yet, you know, there's that I think I have a one and done try here. And luckily, you're not going to see both eyeballs at the same time because they're on opposite sides of his head. So, yeah, I'm just going to do a little distressing. Actually, I should pat myself on the back. I didn't do too terribly bad. I'm going to go ahead and get my milk paint sealed in with just some clear Varathane natural wax. So, yeah, I used Kohl's Fusion paint on the beak and the eyes, so it's permanent. So that means it has primer, top coat, paint all in one, so it's not going to smear or anything like that. I feel as swans are something that people hold on to. I don't run across them very often when I'm out in the wild shopping. And then to find this pair, but then when I saw the pair, I'm like, oh, baby poop. That's all I could think of is these swans rolled in poop. There's something about a white swan that is just a little bit more beautiful than the baby poop color that's on there. Y'all tell me, is that what it looks like? Is that what it looks like? That's what it looks like to me. So we're going to get those China tags taken off, and we are going to give them a new coat of paint, and we're going to be using that same paint I used earlier because it was beautiful on that swan. It'll be beautiful on these two. So though I don't know how much crackage it will do on these because I don't really want to sand it too much. I don't mind if a little bit of the baby poop comes through, but I do want to freshen these up and get them the white swans they should be. You see, I don't want to have to repaint these beaks, and then these have little glass eyeballs, and it's really hard to do this one-handed and hold my phone, which is what I video with for you all to see what I'm doing close up. Not all transformations have to be this, 360, 180 of a transformation. Sometimes just a fresh coat of paint to clean them up. They just look so much better already. It cracked a little bit, so it's got a little bumpy here and there. So these are not one I can use a power sander on, just the way that they are. So I'm just going in and just hand sand them. We'll see if any of the chippiness comes off. Like I said, I don't mind. They'll give them kind of that old-timey look if some of it does come off. I guess I could have spray painted them completely black, so the black would have came through, but I didn't want to deal with, the glass eyes, trying to save them. I guess I could have dyed them, but they're glass eyes, so this is just the way I chose to make them over. And then after I got them both sanded smooth, so you'll see a little bit of chippiness. I just think that gives them a little bit more character, a nice little age to them. So I'm just sealing that milk paint in with some very thin clear wax. And it's amazing once you sand this milk paint how smooth it feels. And then adding a wax, wow. I recently did a flying pig, and here is another one. I cannot believe that. So I just got him cleaned off, and we're going to, I love the pickle color on him, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that same color. Now, I will share with you, I probably should have primed this piece or used something for the smooth surface, but I was thinking since he was already colored that I didn't need it. So depending on how much bond you want from your milk paint, like a primer or something to bond the paint to a little bit more than the slick surface. I'm still learning about the milk paint, so I'm just going to share with you that right at the beginning. So we will just go ahead and get him painted up, and you'll see how he turned out. He definitely has some amazing crackles once it's dry, but I was a little nervous to wipe wax to seal this in, so I'm going in with some of the weather defense spray to hopefully seal and protect there. I actually did 2 coats on this because you can see some of the big chunks came off, but it really gives it the aged look. So probably next time I'll probably use some type of a bonding agent. Like I said, we all have to be new at some point, trying out something new. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Yes, I have a problem passing up animals. When I see animals out there in the wild that I can envision making over, as simple as just repainting, as difficult as trying a technique on them, I just cannot help but grab them and bring them home with me. So give me a quick comment down below which technique I used, which animal I made over today was your favorite, and have I inspired you to look at thrift store finds in a new way? Again, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out this channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye!